County Pet Center. My name is Joanne Spencer. I am the administrative coordinator here at the Pet Center, and I'd like to show you around. Come on in. Here at the Pet Center, our number one goal is to adopt out the animals that we bring in to the center. The majority of the animals that do come into us are stray animals, stray dogs, stray cats. They're brought in by the public who find them. Our first goal is to, of course, reunite them with their owners. A good way to do that is through microchipping. If you haven't microchipped your pet, get that done. Any vet office can do that for you for a very small fee. All of our animals, when they are adopted out here, are automatically microchipped and spayed or neutered. The Pet Center has been very busy during our closure. One of the things we did and we're very proud of is we had this entire area redone. We had laid new mulch and we installed sprayers for the pets to keep them cool. They come on every day at 1 o'clock if the animals are out here. Currently they're turned off. But it provides comfort and coolness for our volunteers as well as our animals. And that was a really big project that we always wanted to work on but just never had the time. Well, the first thing that you would do is you would come in through the front door. At this time right now, we are closed to the public, but pre-COVID times, you would come to the shelter. No appointment is necessary for adopting a dog during our regular hours. We would take you to our dog tour. Let's see, I'll take you. Gone through, if there's any dogs that you would like to see, we would take you out to our front kennels and you can play with them, interact with them. We can kind of tell you a little bit more about the dogs because it does tend to get very noisy in there. Are they good with other dogs? Are they good with cats? We try to find all that information out for you. A lot of times when they come in as a stray, it is hard to detect that, but usually we have a pretty good idea of their temperament. We are more than happy to tell you if it's an active dog or a quiet dog. We have a lot of dogs in there right now, so we try to tell each person what they are looking for. We ask them questions. Are you in a home? Do you have a fenced-in yard? Are you in an apartment? That would be a good example. People like to have dogs that maybe are not barkers if they live in an apartment. If you go ahead and you get in the kennels and you have a dog at home or a dog in the car, then we would do a meet and greet with the dog. So we could have the dog in one cage and your dog in another and meet through the fence and see if they like each other. If things go well, then we would join them together to make sure that they get along. Welcome to our cattery. This is where we keep and house the animals that are brought in and are up for adoption. You would come in, take a look around. All the cages are labeled, so obviously we have a boy and a girl in here. These are some kittens that came in as strays. It's currently kitten season right now. Kitten season starts in about March. It ends in May normally. We've had an extremely long kitten season. We get in I'd say about 10 to 15 kittens a week. We're very fortunate that PetSmart at US 1 and 312 takes most of our kittens and older cats and keeps them in cages there to adopt out to the public. This happened prior to COVID and it currently is still happening now. They've been a great resource. Last week we officially adopted out our 100th kitten since March 17th when COVID started. So that was some really good excitement. One of my favorite parts of the cattery is the jungle. This is where we keep kittens. Sometimes when we have a lot of kittens in, we don't right now because like I said, PetSmart took them. We'll put them all in here so they can get a lot of exercises every day. We also sometimes will put adult cats in here and rotate them to get them out of the cages. They can stretch their legs, but I love the jungle. It's fun to sit in here and play with all the animals and they just love the attention. So now, after you've chosen your new forever friend, whether that be cat, kitten, dog, or puppy, then you would come back out here, you would fill out the proper adoption forms. We do take a picture of your driver's license and we have you collect the information. When you leave here with your animal will be spayed or neutered. We up to date on shots. If it's under 4 months old, you'll have to come back and get its rabies, but there's no additional charge for that. And when you adopt your animal, we try to fit you, especially a dog, we do try to fit you with a collar or a harness so you have something to take home. A lot of people who already have animals at home don't need as much stuff, but if this is your first pet, then we encourage you to try to get started a little bit with some things, see what kind of food they like, and you're more than welcome to take this. There's no charge for this, it's just a courtesy. One of the great things about the shelter is all the donations that we get. These are some of the donations that we've gotten in from the public. We also get donations from Target. IKEA has just donated a bunch of leashes and collars and bowls. We take in blankets, towels, bedding that doesn't have any type of cotton in it, so no quilts, just regular flat blankets because the dogs love to tear those up. Towels and washcloths are always needed, especially for the cattery. We also appreciate wet and dry dog food as well as wet and dry cat food. We are very low right now on wet dog food, so if you'd like to donate, we would appreciate that. If you do choose to donate, you can drop the items off here at the shelter at our second back gate during our closure. We just ask that you call into the shelter, let us know you're here, and we will send a volunteer out to collect those items. But we do appreciate all donations. On-staff animal vet techs that work at each and every day and flip and alternate weekends. They're also available for on-call. The Pet Center has one veterinarian that is not on staff, but he does come in and help us. His name is Dr. Herb Lohman. He's out of Atlantic Vet. The shelter houses more than just adoption animals. Sometimes we do get animals in here that are not adoptable or we don't want to adopt out. Lewis here would be a perfect example of one of those. Lewis has been here for about 8 months. He's about 1.5 years old. He is a bearded dragon. He's a male, obviously, and he lives here in Paul's office. I'm going to go ahead and feed him if you'd like to watch. We feed him these horned worms. They're very cool, very pretty. He loves them. And look, he's waiting. Here we go. Other than the blue worms, he also eats crickets, and we do give him a little bit of kale. He likes raspberries also, and those just stay in his dish, and he'll just munch on those during the day. But the worms are a super treat. We also have some outdoor shelter animals. This is Rudy. Hey, Rudy. Rudy likes his treats. We found Rudy last October in 2019. Rudy was just this big. We found him running around our parking lot. He had an infected eye, and it was covered in burrs. So we decided to keep Rudy. Rudy is a piney. He's called a piney rooter. And he is a wild pig, and he likes his treats. I only brought one. I gotta give one to Penny. He likes his treats. Rudy's been here since October of 2019, which happened to be the week that I started here. So I've known Rudy the whole time I've worked here. We're buddies. And he knows my voice, and I got him a pool. He loves his pool. But he is a big boy. All right, Rudy, let's go meet Penny. The other shelter animal we have here is our other pig, Penny. You can hear Penny. I don't know if you can see Penny. Penny also likes her treats. Here you go, Penny. Penny's been here for a few years. All right. You might not know this, but pigs have personalities. First of all, they're very friendly. Both of our pigs are male, female, and they are very personable. They get jealous when you don't talk to them. If I'm out here for too long and I haven't paid any attention to them, they get mad and start snorting away. But right now, Rudy's just trying to find a cool spot to sit in. Penny's a little more laid back due to her girth, but she is also very friendly, loves her pool, and has a very good personality. They both love belly rubs, that's for sure. One of the most common calls we get is about lost animals. We do several things about lost animals. One, we would take the information. We'd like to know these following things. The animal's name, is it microchipped? Is it normally an indoor-outdoor cat? Where the area that you lost it in, male, female, and is it fixed? And how long has it been missing? We collect all of this data and we keep it in a log, our lost log. We also, if you want to send us a picture, you're always welcome to do that. We do keep a board here of our cats and dogs that are missing. And so anytime that somebody comes into the shelter, a dog or cat, we can refer to the lost log or pictures. If you've come into the shelter because you think your animal might be here, we more than welcome you during non-COVID times to come into the shelter and do what we call a stray tour. We would take you into where our animals are, strayed animals that have not been claimed yet, and we have a stray cat area as well. We do encourage you to send pictures and post pictures on all of the great Facebook groups There's St. Augustine Lost and Found and Northeast Florida Lost and Found. Those two Facebook groups, if you post all your information, they're really great about sharing the information. We've had a lot of great reunions in regards to posting on there. One of the things we love at the Pet Center is our volunteers. We have both adult volunteers and student volunteers. Adults do require a background check and do fill out a form. Those forms are located on the St. Johns County website as well as on the Pet Center website. For teens, you have to be 14 and older in order to volunteer at the center. If you are 14 or 15 years old, you do need to be accompanied by an adult. If you are 16, 17, you do not have to be accompanied by an adult, but a car must be present on site at all times. There are additional forms to fill out if you're a teen. Teens 14 and older must be already completed 8th grade, so you can start the summer after 8th grade. We are still accepting volunteer applications. You can send them to me at the Pet Center, J. Spencer at SJCPLS, and we'll log them, and as soon as we're open up, we can start processing the volunteers. Once you're approved to be a volunteer, we do a little orientation, and it's basically the job is socializing with our cats and our dogs, taking our dogs for walks out to the kennels I showed you earlier, and petting and socializing with the cats, because that's an important tool to get them ready for their forever homes. My favorite part of the job has to be when we reunite an animal with its owner. Like I said before, we do get a lot of strays here, and just recently we were able to reunite a family after the dog had been missing for 3 months. Their animal had come into our shelter as a stray and had wandered into somebody's yard. It was a small American Bulldog. Animal Control went and picked it up, and we scanned it for a chip, and sure enough, it had a chip, and the chip owner lived in Atlanta, Georgia, and we were able to reunite them. They drove all the way here, and it was just the most heartwarming thing to see her and her kids be reunited with the dog after 3 months.